This is a kind of updated review on the TSC brooder that we picked up last year when TSC got rid of them. They also sell this brooder on their website for $12.99. That's $1,299. This is the Producer's Pride brooder. So let's look at how it's working. I'm currently brooding meat chicks in one level. I have a level with bantams. And I have a second level with meat chicks in it. Look at that mess in there. If any of you know meat chickens, you know the mess. It's probably not a good solution for meat chickens. Now there are a couple in there that are older than the others. They're huge. We've had these in here since, I guess, last Wednesday. So they've been in here for 1 week, and I really think about one week is all that you'd want to keep meat chickens in here for. It's just too much for it without having the shavings at all. So I don't really recommend it for doing meat chickens for very long. And these guys are, we just set up their pen. They're getting ready to move out anyway. This is the bantam level, and they've done okay in here. These guys have also been in here for about a week. I love how up close and personal you can get with the chicks. They'll come right up to you. It's kind of fun to see them at eye level. I really love these feeding troughs. They're perfect. You can feed a whole lot of chicks in there. It gives them tons of floor space to eat. The water is exactly the same, and I really like that about these, that they can get right up to the water, and even the newest little bantams can reach those. So that works great for them. Okay, most of you are already going to know this if you are familiar with why TSC pulled them, but the heater plates do not keep this very warm. I have them in a garage, and the garage is, about 55 or so, and it's just not cutting it. So I have one with the legs that I already had, one of those heat plates, and I had to have it down low, especially for the bantams, but I've also had to do it for the meat birds. It wasn't warm enough for my meat chickens either. Look how cute. So they've been using this heater plate. I'm not really sure why they're all jammed in there like that, because they actually have two heaters going, but they must be really cold today. So the bantams have not only the heat plate that goes on top, but they also are using this little one that I've kept in there. And we've had a lot of pasty butt issues. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's because they are still recovering from being cold at the beginning when I brought them home. Some of them had it right from the start, like through they weren't shipped, but they did travel. So I don't know if it's from that, or if it's maybe even too warm in here for them. Sometimes the water gets a little warm, so I'm not really sure, but we are having definitely some pasty behind issues. You can see one down there that I'm trying to get under control with the bantams. But we have had, definitely had some heating issues, not keeping them warm enough. I do think if you had this in a place that was room temperature, like 70 degrees or so, it would probably be okay. I don't know that it would be such a big deal. But like I said, my garage is about 55, so it's not the best for that. These are some of the meat chickens, the Cornish cross. They're all huddled. They really like that heat plate. They're going to be disappointed, I think, when I put them out with some heat lamps. So I'll show you how these levels are set up. This is another level that I don't have chicks in right now. And the way that it is it has a heat plate up there that has a brooder setting and a heater setting. I tried both. I didn't notice the difference. The heater setting actually is, I think it's at 200 watts, whereas the brooder setting is 40 watts. So maybe that heater setting does put off more heat. I wasn't noticing a huge difference as far as how it felt underneath, but I didn't use a thermometer, so that's something you could check out. The troughs are on each side. They lift out from the outside, and you can dump them and change them. I'll tell you, it's inconvenient. It's not easy. I'm about 5'3", and it takes both arms to kind of get this stuff done. It's just kind of a pain to change the water because it wants to spill all over. They have a rack that goes on top. So this little rack theoretically would let the droppings fall down. It doesn't particularly. It's not perfect, but you could kind of scrape it off. level has a hole so the cords will fit right through it. And each level also has a little sliding door here that slides and closes. It has some holes for ventilation in it. I did find with my quail when I raised them in there that the ventilation wasn't enough. It was really stinky in there, but those were adult quail. Each level has a droppings tray that pulls right out. I'll show you up here. Just kind of pulls out. That would be from where the bantams are, I guess. And you can purchase these little puppy pads. They're not even puppy pads, they're liners. You could probably purchase those somewhere. I'm sure they're expensive. These came with it. I'm using them until they're gone, and then I'm gonna switch to probably newspaper. So that makes it kind of easy to clean the droppings out underneath. If you wanna pull this whole tray out though, I'll tell you, it's, again, for me, it's a job. It requires a lot of, they're big. So it just kind of is a job to kind of get it out. You'd wanna have a lot of room if you needed to get it out and clean. So it's not the easiest to clean, but putting those liners in makes it pretty easy to clean that part. It comes with a section where you can plug in all those cords there on the side, and it just has one unit that plugs in, like one plug plugs it all in. So that's really convenient. Works really well with that. Something else about it that is kind of inconvenient is this thing is huge, and this thing is super, super heavy. So we had to bring it on a trailer and barely got it into the garage. Really, really heavy, but that also means it is really, really well made. I mean, this thing is built wonderfully. Super heavy duty, great quality. I love it for that. So what are my final thoughts on this brooder? I got this for $300, and I'll tell you, I think it still was a steal. I'm still thrilled with it. It's inconvenient to clean, but I also don't have all these shavings all over. So that's a plus. I like that I can kind of interact with the chicks more. So that's definitely a plus. I wanted it to raise quail. I was thinking how I could keep adult quail in here. It's not really working for that for me. I think you need more ventilation or something, and they just were really messy for it, considering how hard it is to clean. For instance, to get like all these droppings off, I'd like to clean this a lot more than it's practical to do, because I'd want to take these trays out and clean them at least once a week, if not more. And it's a job. It's just a big job to get it all out. But if you're up for the work, and you hatch and brood a lot of chicks, I think this thing is awesome. If you can get the temperatures controlled, or I do think you are going to lose some chicks. We're back in the messy Cornish cross level here with the big ones. And this is not meant to deal with Cornish cross, the way they eat and go to the bathroom for very long at all. So it's not the brooder's fault. This one has a level that adjusts. If you can see this here, it'll actually lower and raise this heat plate, which it says is for like bantams, the smaller birds. I can promise you that this is in no way warm enough to keep bantams warm. If you're not in an already pretty warm environment, this would not have worked. So that is probably my biggest complaint. Not even complaint, but just it doesn't work with these heat plates the way they are, at least in a 55, 60 degree environment. It just doesn't keep them warm enough. But they do like the heat plates, and I'll tell you, I love the heat plates. I'm all for it. It seems hard to find the replacement legs. I've yet to been able to find where I can buy legs to put them on, because that would be ideal if I could get some legs to set each one of them like this, so that I could raise it and lower it and then eventually hang it up at the top. If you have a 3D printer, maybe you could do it. I've seen, I think on Etsy, where someone sells them, that it looks like they're printing out. But that would definitely be helpful, or maybe if you could hang it from the top by a chain, something to adjust those heat plates on there. So would I buy this thing again? I totally would buy this thing again for $300. Really would. Definitely worth it as far as that goes. Would I buy this for $1,299 if I was doing what I'm doing here, just kind of a hobbyist? No, I don't think that I would. I don't think that it's worth it to me personally, but if I was brooding a lot of chicks and kind of doing a small hatchery type of thing, then it would probably be worth it to do that. Someone also would give this a 2 thumbs up, I think, for being able to watch the chicks. He enjoys watching them in that. So I do like not having to mess with the shavings, and I like having options as far as the different levels. So overall, I'm still pleased with this. I still think I won the lottery though when I got it for $300. Nothing has changed there. I hope this helps you, and I hope it kind of shows you what I guess it's called a battery brooder, how it works, and the good things and the bad things about it. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos about chickens and quail and cats in the way. Thanks for watching, guys.